New MERS-related virus, NeoCoV, may be more lethal, transmissible. Study by Jerusalem Post. A new lethal virus known as NeoCoV has been discovered, and it may be more transmissible with one mutation, according to a new study by Chinese scientists from Wuhan. Though, some experts are cautioning that further study is needed. It has not yet made the leap to humans. According to the study, which is in preprint and therefore not yet peer-reviewed, but we're going to report it anywhere so it scare the crap out of you. The NeoCoV variant is a type of coronavirus originally discovered in South Africa. However, it isn't entirely new. According to the researchers, the NeoCoV variant is linked to the MERS-CoV virus, also known as Middle East Respiratory Syndrome, MERS, which had outbreaks in several countries in the Middle East before. Don't get me wrong, YouTube. I'm not questioning this at all, but isn't there a similar pattern here? SARS-CoV-1 started in 2002 or 2003, and again 17 years later in 2020, 2019, 2020. And they're both related, and now we're seeing the MERS and NeoCoV, and they're related, and they're 10 years apart, and I don't know, it seems like do you, on a side note, do you like fairy tales? Do you read Brothers Grimm? Do you read it? Do you like it? Do you believe it? Is it your faith? Like other coronaviruses, which refer to a type of virus and not specifically to COVID-19, is not unprecedented for it to exist in animals as well as humans. Right now, NeoCoV, is it NeoCoV or NeoCoV? I think it's NeoCoV, is only known to spread among bats. But can it transmit to humans? Well, can it? I mean, I don't know. How's the fairy tale going right now? From bats, right? According to the Wuhan researchers, the answer is yes, and is only one mutation away from destroying all humans, becoming dangerous for human life. Further, according to the study, antibodies targeting both SARS-CoV-2, which causes COVID-19, and MERS-CoV were not able to stop NeoCoV. Oh no. It can't even stop it. Oh my goodness. However, the World Health Organization cautioned against making such conclusions before further study can be done. Whether the virus detected in the study will pose a risk for humans will require further study. The organization told Russian news agency TASS, adding that it works closely with the World Organization for Animal Health, or OIE, the Food and Agriculture Organization, FAO, and the UN Environment Program, UNEP, in order to monitor and respond to the threat of emerging zoonotic viruses. So NeoCoV, also known as NewCoV. Oh man, you gotta love your Brothers Grimm. Also in fairy tale land, how about Rainbow Unicorn Land? Justin Trudeau says he's isolating because one of his kids tested positive for the cocoa. After revealing that he was exposed to COVID-19, it would be isolating at home. Ow, my arm's uncomfortable. Justin Trudeau has now given more details about the situation and where his exposure came from. In an interview with the Canadian press that was released on January 28th, Trudeau mentioned that the reason why he was exposed to COVID-19 and has to isolate at his home, so uncomfortable. Where was I? Has to isolate at home in Ottawa, is that one of his kids tested positive. The Prime Minister also told the Canadian press that he feels fine and currently has no symptoms. I feel fine, and I currently have no symptoms. Trudeau noted that he took another rapid test in the morning on January 20th and came back negative, just like his other rapid test. Oh, they love their rapid tests, you know. I was warning that they were going to be pushing that hard back in 2020. I said that that's what's the new one. That was the new thing that was going to be coming, where you're going to test constantly. That'll be your requirement to leave the house. Ever. While he revealed that one of his kids has tested positive, he won't say which of his three children it is or how they're doing. On January 27th, Trudeau announced in a tweet that he had learned the previous night that he was exposed to COVID-19. I was exposed. He took a rapid test after he found out and got a negative result. Trudeau also said that he will be following Ottawa public health rules and isolating for 5 days. I feel fine and will be working from home, Trudeau said. Stay safe, everyone, and please get vaccinated. Back in March 2020, his wife, Sophie Gregor Trudeau, tested positive for COVID-19, and later in the year, Trudeau said it was possible that he contracted the virus at that time too, but it's unlikely because I don't think they even touch each other. So I'm pretty sure he's not at risk. But he wasn't entirely sure because he was absolutely asymptomatic. The article cover's image was used for illustrative purpose only. Now, so this is not his setup actually. He's more like in a dungeon with whips and such. And lastly, the latest COVID variant is 1.5 times more contagious than Omicron and already circulating almost half of U.S. states. What? You haven't heard about this? The Omicron subvariant, known as Ba.2, is 1.5 times more transmissible than the original Omicron strain, according to Danish scientists. The UK Health Security Agency of Friday said Ba.2 has a substantial growth advantage over the original Omicron, known as Ba.1. Nearly half of the U.S. states have confirmed that the presence of Ba.2, with at least 127 known cases nationwide as of Friday. There are already dozens of cases across almost half the U.S. of the new COVID subvariant that's even more contagious than the already highly transmissible Omicron variant. Nearly half of U.S. states have confirmed the presence of Ba.2 with at least 127 known cases nationwide as of Friday, according to the global database that tracks COVID variants. The Center for Disease Control and Prevention in a statement Friday also said Ba.2 has increased its proportion to the original Omicron strain in some countries and is currently circulating at a low level in the U.S. Now let's listen to Scott Gottlieb, who was formerly of the FDA, and he now currently resides with Pfizer. Isn't that funny? It's like a revolving door or something going on.
Scott Gottlieb, former FDA commissioner, a CNBC contributor. He also serves on the boards of Pfizer and Illumina. What about the latest thinking or data or your opinion on a variant, or this new variant that tell us what you know, because I've read things. I don't know what's true and what's not. Maybe it's not any more virulent or is similar, but what do we know about it, Scott?
Yeah, look, there's some critical questions right now that we don't have perfect answers to. It does appear to be, so 3 questions. Is it more contagious? It does appear to be more contagious. It's spreading in areas where the old Omicron version has become prevalent. So Sweden put out data in the last 24 hours that shows that it's increased from 25% of infections to about 45% of infections over 3 weeks. So it does appear to be more contagious. Is it more virulent? Is it more dangerous of a strain? It doesn't appear to be the case. The data out of Sweden and the UK suggests that it's not any more severe, not causing more severe illness than what we've seen previously. And is the immunity that we've acquired from the current version of Omicron going to be protective against this new variant? That does appear to be the case, just based on looking at the contours of the spike protein in this new variant, this B.2.
Check out those contours in that subvariant.
It does appear to have a similar antigenic profile. So hopefully, if people were infected with the current strain of Omicron, which probably half of the U.S. has or will be infected with this current version of Omicron, that immunity that you've acquired is going to be protective against this new variant. If that's the case, and it does appear to be the case, although experimentation is still underway to really nail that diagnosis. But if that's the case, you wouldn't expect this new variant really to take off here in the United States or other countries that have already had their Omicron wave. It could be that if it comes in here and starts to spread at any levels, that you could get a longer tail on the decline in this epidemic. But it's unlikely that this is going to displace Omicron and create a new wave of infection in a way Delta displaced B.1.17 or B.1.17 displaced the old Wuhan variant.
Hey, so, Scott, in a similar line of thinking, the immunity that you're talking about from people that have had the original Omicron strain, have you seen data? Because I've seen anecdotally that the immunity there is pretty good and could be better than people that had the full regimen of vaccines. Is the natural immunity from Omicron better than that?
Yeah, look, it's going to take time to make that determination. I think what we've seen overall is that people who develop an infection with a particular variant have pretty good protection against subsequent reinfection with that variant, and maybe as good, if not better, protection than those who were just vaccinated. But what the vaccines provide is broader and better protection overall against all the variants. So if you had Delta infection, you're probably better protected or as good in terms of the protection you have against subsequent Delta infection as someone who is vaccinated, but you don't have as good protection against Omicron as someone who's vaccinated. So if, in fact, this Omicron variant becomes the dominant variant right now and future mutations happen within this Omicron lineage, which is a distinct possibility, people who had Omicron infection should have pretty good protection against subsequent reinfection against Omicron. And in fact, this B.2 variant is another variant within that Omicron lineage. And what I would expect, if in fact B.2 is slightly more contagious than sort of your run-of-the-mill Omicron, is that will probably become the prevalent strain of Omicron that we take forward in the future.
I am Lur of Omicron Perseid. The subvariant is 1.5 times more transmissible than the original Omicron strain, referred to by scientists as Ba.1, according to the Statins Serum Institute, which conducts infectious disease surveillance for Denmark. The new sublineage doesn't appear to further reduce the effectiveness of vaccines against symptomatic infection, according to the UK Health Security Agency. Is there really more to read? Holy crap. Currently, there is more evidence that Ba.2 lineage is more severe than the Ba.1 lineage. CDC spokesman Kristen Norland said Ba.2 overtook the original Omicron as the dominant variant in Denmark over the course of a few weeks, says Troels Lillebark, the chairman of Scandinavian Nations Committee that conducts surveillance of COVID variants. Holy crap. Ba.1, Ba.2 have differences in their mutations in the most important areas. In fact, the areas between Ba.1 and Ba.2 is greater than the difference between the original wild strain and the alpha variant, which was the first major mutation to take root across the world. The Ba.2 variant has 5 unique mutations on a key part of the spike protein the virus uses to attach to human cells and invade them. Lilleback told CNBC mutations on this part of the spike, known as the receptor binding domain, are often associated with higher transmissibility. The UK Health Security Agency on Friday said that Ba.2 has a substantial growth advantage over the original Omicron. The sister variant spread faster than the original Omicron and all. Okay, yeah. Blah, 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 blah. All I can say to this is freaking Ba black sheep, have you any wool? Yes, sir, 3 bags full. 1 for my master, and 1 for my dame, and 1 for the little boy who lives down the lane. Ba black sheep. Okay, sheepies. Not you guys, but everyone else. I hope you all have a great day. This is enough fairy tales for me. I'm gotta go hit my head with a mallet so it all makes sense again. And with that said, thank you so much for your time and attention. As always, if you'd like to support the channel, links to do so are in the description below. Please, and thank you, again for your attention. I don't know what I was going to say there. But anyways, with that said, this is Venomous reporting for the Brave New World. I'll catch you all next time.
Are you talking to me? No way, Paul.